We're here at the Field Services press conference, and I have with me two reporters from the Inland Empire Technical Research Journal. And welcome, gentlemen. My name is Tony Cummings. I'm president of QED Information Systems, and we're a small company with a lot of promise in the Inland Empire. We're employing people in this region, and we want to make it known to the public and to the management workforce that we exist. So we have invested our time and skills in developing this software called TaskCaddy. And to make it known to the public, I'm opening myself to answer questions from these two reporters from the Inland Empire Technical Research Journal. So gentlemen, shoot, tell me what's on your mind, and I'll do my best to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you for having us here. My name is Teek Robinson. I was just wondering, sir, can you just give us a synopsis or a summary, if you can, about what TaskCaddy is and how it developed?
TaskCaddy is a software that supports the field service workforce. It's a software that might actually have a direct impact on your life. I.e., if you called an air conditioning person to repair your air conditioning unit and you live in the high desert and it's the middle of the day, it's 120 degrees, you want this guy to arrive on time, don't you?
Yeah.
And you want him to be available to do the work and have him optimize his time while he's there and not have him leave the job site and return back to the office to get more inventory, don't you?
Right.
You also want him to actually be able to understand how to repair that unit, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's how TaskCaddy will impact your life. If that person had a support system, what we call a personal service assistant, built into a software that not only helps him arrive to your job site on time, but helps him understand what he has to do and perform that work to the adequate requirements of that particular unit, and also have him get support from his office with any kind of help that he might need, you are going to benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, if we can put this quote-unquote knowledge into a system and make it the assistant for this particular person that's going to be repairing your air conditioning unit, they will actually be better off in their work, and you'll be better off as a consumer. So TaskCaddy encompasses those objectives by making the worker's life easy, by making his company's lives easy, and also providing you with the service you need. It's a different way of looking at things, but it's saying provide efficiency to workers, give workers the kind of support they're going to need, and make the consumer happy. Because we all know consumers waiting around for cable repairmen that don't appear until the end of the day. Mm-hmm. TaskCaddy tries to reduce that and to have your frustration be reduced. Mm-hmm. So it's a software for the field service technician, for management, and indirectly for a consumer like yourself.
Okay.
Hi Tony, my name is Wally Talisi. I'm with the Inland Empire Journal. I'm a tech advisor with the journal.
Thank you.
I had a question as far as TaskCaddy goes. In tough times like this, with the economy being slow and things like that, how could a software like TaskCaddy can come into play in a company like, you know, technical companies that go out in into the field and do work every day?
Good question, Waleed. It's funny, instinctively in tough times, companies that are providing services, the first thing they do is try to cut back. They cut their staff, they reduce their expenditures, they choose not to actually go out and actually invest in technology. But it has been proven, and a matter of fact, there's a recent article I just read, it's been proven that companies that strive towards improving their operation during the tough times are those that succeed after the tough times are over. They're able to come out of that curve of the depression or the recession and be ahead of the actual guys that have constrained themselves and not do the actual improvement in their business. So to really be specific, when a company in tough times are providing services, that's the time they should look at improving their business. Because if you're going to wait it out and you're going to come back after the recession and you're going to bring on the same type of people, the same number of people, you're just setting yourself up again to have tough times impact you. I hope I answered your question, Mr.
You
Quincy.
definitely did. Thank you so much for doing that. I also had a quick question regarding the software itself. How hard or how easy is it to install in a company like ours? I mean,
How many people how many people you have on board?
we have 30 people on board.
Okay,
Right now.
and 30 people in the field.
In the field, yes.
Okay, and 30 people. We figure a company like yourself, it'll probably be 6 to 8 weeks to be deployed.
Okay.
Because we've got to think in terms of training, but key, we've got to think in terms of configuring your business,
Okay.
and in actual fact, re-engineer your business to have it sit on the TaskCaddy platform.
Okay.
So you've got to do some homework, and you've got to standardize the way you do your business, and you've got to put in that effort to come up with measurable times by task and populate the database. But once that's done, and that's the pain you have to suffer, you will get the benefit because, like I said before, define once, repeat often.
Okay.
Don't forget, it takes a baby many efforts before they start walking. But once they start walking, walking is unconscious to them. So that walking effort is an effort, but that time after they have been able to stand on their 2 feet, walking is not a big thing in their head. So we see the building of the TaskCaddy as the efforts a baby will take in stumbling and crawling, but once it's done, it's repeated often.
Okay, I mean, so let's say my company is struggling in this, as well. He was saying my company is struggling in this time frame, and then we want to look at improving our business. But let's say we have a system that's already efficient, with our forms that we've spent years creating, and the system we've spent a long time perfecting. I mean, what are some of the details of it that really make it worthwhile?
A good question, and I'm going to be rhetorical, and I'm not being rude, but the system that you might have working is a system that oftentimes only works with the support of a host of personnel, and forms have no life unless a person is actually working with that form.
Right.
And so when people define the systems that they say is working efficiently, they often not think of the people that are involved in pushing that system along. So out of the bat, I would say that I take issue with form systems that are working. I say, is your system working? Can your system work independent of all of these people? And then we can begin to work.
So,
But let's say all things equal, your system does work.
mm-hmm.
How do you now send a message to your distributor in Japan? Do you send a actual hard copy mail by UPS, or do you email them?
Email mostly.
Email them. And how do you actually communicate in doing your taxes? Do you do e-tax filing?
Yeah, or having accounting firm.
Right. So why then are you sending messages to your distributors through an electronic means? You're sending messages possibly to the taxman through electronic means, but your core business, you're still using paper. That's the reason you exist. What's the benefit? What's the attachment you have with the paper? Now, nothing is wrong with paper, but why then can you not transition that same mentality to the way you're doing business? And even if you're efficient, there's something else you can be greater than efficient. You can be more efficient.
Right.
Any other questions, sir?
Yes, I had a quick question. Looking at the banner here, we see that TaskCaddy offers project management and also job site visibility. How do those aspects come into play into your software? How do you integrate them together? And then the second part of the question is, how would that benefit my company as far as monetary means?